Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another question. In these videos, I go over exam technique, how to approach the questions, and any common mistakes that are made. If you have any questions which are similar to this question, or any question from any other past paper, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below and I'll have a look at it as soon as I can. So today's topic is parallel and perpendicular lines. The question states, line A passes through the points 1, 5 and 5, 7. Line B passes through the points -1, 7 and 2, 1. Show that the line A and line B are perpendicular. So when we start the question, again, we're going to do the same thing where we look at the important information. So line A, that passes through the points 1, 5 and 5, 7. And actually in this one, just to make sure that I don't get them mixed up, I'll change the colors, and line B in green passes through the points -1, 7 and 2, 1. And what we're trying to do here is we are trying to show that the lines are perpendicular. So now that we know that, we can try and start and answer the question. Now, when we're trying to prove that lines are perpendicular, we are trying to show that their gradients multiply to make -1. All right, and to do that, we'll first need to find out the gradients of line A and line B. For line A, the gradient is always the change in the rise over the change in the run. Okay, so the change in the y divided by the change in the x. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the 2 points, which are 5, 7 and 1, 5, and we're going to do the difference in their y values divided by the difference in the x values. Now, it's very important that when you are doing the subtraction, you always use the same coordinate first. All right, so in this case, I used 7 first, which means that for my first x value, I will use 5 because the coordinate is 5, 7. So I wouldn't do 7 minus 5 divided by 1 minus 5, all right? Because I used the 7 first, which means I would have to use its corresponding x coordinate first as well. Now 7 minus 5 will be 2. 5 minus 1 is 4. That's 2 over 4, which is the same as a half. Now for line B, we have -1, 7 and 2, 1. So again, I will use a second coordinate first. So we have the y minus second y. So remember, it's the change in y over the change in x. And then we have 2 minus -1. And that will equal what? 1 minus 7, we know, is -6. Now 2 minus -1, so this is the minus and a minus, which means we're going to treat it as a positive. So 2 plus 1 is 3. And that is the same as -2. So now we have to make sure that these gradients, because we found that the gradient of line A was a half and the gradient for line B was a -2, for them to be perpendicular, we have to show that their product will equal -1. So if we do a half times -2, well, that gives us, well, the 2's cancel out, and there's a minus, which means we will just be left with -1. The answer is perpendicular because the gradients have a product of -1. And that is our answer. So we have shown that these lines are perpendicular because we have shown that their gradients multiply to give us -1. All right, so just to quickly go over it again, we first had to find the gradient of line A, which was a half. Then we showed the gradient of line B, which was -2. For them to be perpendicular, we would have to multiply the gradients and get the answer -1, and we did because a half multiplied by -2 is equal to -1. So they are perpendicular because their gradients have a product of -1. I hope this video was informative and helpful. If you have any other questions, like I mentioned before, please do leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to go over them as soon as I can. If you have any other questions about this particular topic, also leave them in the comment section below. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video, and stay safe.